Former YouTube CEO Susan Wojicki died, aged 56. Wojicki, one of the most prominent women in tech, had been living with cancer for 2 years. Susan Wojicki, the former YouTube CEO and one of the first Google employees, has died at the age of 56 after 2 years of living with cancer. Her husband, Dennis Troper, announced the news of her death on Friday. In a post on Facebook, he said, "It is with profound sadness that I share the news of Susan Wojicki passing. My beloved wife of 26 years and mother to our 5 children left us today after 2 years of living with non-small cell lung cancer." The Google chief executive, Sundar Pichai, wrote on X, formerly known as Twitter, on Saturday, "Unbelievably saddened by the loss of my dear friend, Susan Wojicki, after 2 years of living with cancer. She is as core to the history of Google as anyone, and it's hard to imagine the world without her." Wojicki, one of the most prominent women in tech, and this is the article speaking, stepped down from her role at YouTube in 2023, a position she held for 9 years, saying she wanted to start a new chapter focused on my family, health, and personal projects I'm passionate about. "It would be one of the best decisions of my life," Wojicki wrote when she announced her departure. She was previously a senior vice president for ad products at Google and became CEO of YouTube in 2014. Before Google, Wojicki worked at Intel and Bain & Company. The headline of this article was attended on August 10th to correct a misspelling of Wojicki. I hope you okay, and this is just the Guardian trying to get money. So do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I'm the person that mentioned it. I guess you say it firstly, obviously, it's unexpected. But I think you should go first too, because I think you're the one who's been affected by it the most with your YouTube career the most. So.
Well, she definitely affected it the most. She definitely affected it a lot, and in a negative way. So first, I want to say I'm sorry for her husband, and I'm definitely feel bad for her children. Um, I know what it's like
Yeah,
to lose a mother. Well, my mother
understood.
was only was not a mother very for a very long time. So, but I can't imagine that pain. Even though my mother had a lot of questionable things to answer for. Um, but
Understood.
so I do want to say to her husband and to her children, I'm sorry for your loss. Um, but as as far as her role was as YouTube, I don't think she did anything that was really well. I think she should have been fired from Google for a long time before she stepped down. Um, she did not do well with YouTube. She did not handle ad apocalypse well. She and then
Several of
the
them actually.
yeah, and then she also she did not handle that FTC thing well. Um, by catering to the FTC, saying they wanted to go after YouTubers. You know, Susan was the one steering the ship at this time. She should have stepped up, and I don't know. And YouTube has to be the luckiest website in the world, because any one of these scandals, whether it be the FTC going after YouTubers or Apocalypse, the many incarnations of Apocalypse, that would have killed off any other website. Just one of those things.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know how you. It must be Google's funding that's keeping YouTube afloat among all these controversies. Um, but yeah, I just think she was awful at her job, and I don't think she should have had it as long as she did. And I think you know, she really didn't favor herself. I mean, a lot of people do blame her. She's, at least if you're not going to blame her for ad apocalypse, you really can blame her for the FTC thing. All YouTube had to do was create an age gate for people who logged in, and the FTC thing would have never happened. And
Oh,
instead,
yeah.
they said the FTC could go after YouTubers, and YouTube wasn't going to do anything to protect them. And you know, at Apocalypse, okay, I wasn't making much money for my videos. I never made the payout, so I never made money for my videos at all. But at least when us people that had a few hundred subscribers were making a few pennies here, a nickel there, whatever it was from ad revenue, at least it was incentive. Maybe the next video you hit record will be a big video. And if not, maybe it'll at least make a little few drips, you know. And then when they just did Apocalypse and killed many partners, or killed the partnership of many partners, uh, she never answered for that either. Because I hated her response. Oh, we're gonna talk to the people that actually did the bad thing.
Hmm.
You're gonna talk to them unless it's a 2x4 across the face is your version of talking to them. That's not that's not a that's not that's not enough punishment. But you're gonna
Yeah.
punish everyone else who didn't do anything wrong just because they don't have enough subscribers. So yeah. I It's sad that Susan Wojicki died, but honestly, I don't have anything positive to say about her in her professional life. Dr. Games 101, you got anything to say?
I want to say to give respects to her as a person, as a mother, and with her family and all. Like, give respect to the fact that how she when she passed and all, and hopefully things will get better over time with that family. But professionally speaking, as a CEO of YouTube, and her performance being at YouTube is more like anti-consumer, anti-YouTube user or YouTube gaming user at best. Of us as YouTube gamers for like how many years now so far. Me, I've been on YouTube since as early as August 30th, 2006. That was my first ever YouTube channel as just a user. And then by 2009, I did myself some political commentating after several stints and experiments of uploading YouTube and all back in 2007, 2008. And then by 2015, for August, if not September, of October, I started doing YouTube Gaming, it's called. And I started steered away from politics into gaming altogether. That's my real passion from the start of it all. I've always wanted to game online with others to make profits or some sort of donations or any of that sort through my gaming. That's why they have the PayPal, the MySpace, the PayPal, the Cash App, everything that's going on for years now. People just donate left and right through the YouTube community and all, and that was a great thing racing for most well-mentioned YouTubers out there that are gaming. But now with the apocalypse and all, I created this mishap of mistrust. It's like I understand that not everyone's gonna be picture perfect for advertiser friendly stuff, but at the same time, the advertisers, the companies like Coca Cola. Or perhaps Abercrombie and Fitch, if I pronounce it correctly, and Louis Vuitton, those type of companies, they have no say in that because they did their own sins too, with the sweatshops or with the concealing of nutrition information via the Pepsi Colas and all that stuff going on, Coca Cola, everything else. So they try to say, oh, we want to have the best YouTubers on the platform, or the best clean YouTubers, or to call it like that. It paraphrased what they were saying on live in these press conferences slash videos and stuff I saw over the years during the apocalypses. So they say, oh, we had to do such and such with these videos and monetize them for our sake, not for the maker's sake of YouTube, the YouTube users like myself, for example, especially with Copa, which affected a lot of people trying to go through every single video of their career as on YouTube. That's impossible to do that with my gaming channel, especially where all the explicit material is at, with all the blood, violence, and is it for kids, if it not for kids, and all with the Cope Act and stuff. So it's kind of like I can't go through that stuff individually on my own as one person. I'm a one man show. I'm on YouTube channel called Dr. Games101. And if I own my three channels altogether, I have on YouTube, historically speaking, as well as currently. And yeah, it's like you try to be accommodated at the same time, like you want to fight, be an activist or advocate, whatever. That's a no in today's world to do that, because obviously you're not gonna get much views out of it. Not only views out of it, also the fact that you're not gonna get no support out of it because of the censorship. So even now they go towards the gaming aspect of it, you still can't get coverage because you have your perspective on the platform. So it's kind of like, what's the person in the internet and YouTube altogether if you can't broadcast yourself as the slogan said back 10, 15 years ago? YouTube, broadcast yourself. But they don't like that anymore. There's too many people with different thoughts and ideas, and they're trying to create this narrative. And I'm like, it's okay to do that to some extent, but you can't control the entire narrative all the time, every time. People will think differently than you over time. People will be more relevant than you over time, whether you're a politician, a banker, or a CEO of a company, or even just a person from Long Island that lives there for 7 years of myself. It's not my fault that I'm so different, or Triple J is so different, or Angry Joe, or any one of these YouTube gamers so different from each other from different perspectives on why the game is bad or why the game is good and such and such. Like, you can't control that all the time. Like, you just can't. You have to let the market free flow, and everyone wants control at the top. The higher the adult age group you go to, like the baby boomers and all. Not to blame them entirely, but Susan was a baby boomer, being 50 in her 50s and all. So it's kind of like her hand was involved with this Google company for how many years? 25 years. So it's it was expected that she was an advertisement aspect of the company, not the tech aspect. So her duty was trying to advertise, and she did a horrible job at that. I attended several colleges, whether it's successful or not. I attended several classes, business mathematics. I attended the marketing classes of the 5 Ps, everything else, all that, or the 4 Ps originally was called. I attended those classes, and Susan didn't think like that. She has to think. I think, in my perspective, so me as a YouTuber since 2006, by the way, people, she should have done a better job. I could be her advisor at this rate, or any one of us be her advisor.
Well, keep in mind, 2006. I don't think she was there. So that's like I'm not.
Well, but she was there. But you got to say, like, she was there for 25 years with Google altogether.
Yeah, but she didn't have the power that she had over YouTube until 2014.
Okay, never mind. Well, excuse me if I overspoke about the matter. Excuse me, guys. But the point is that, like, she over time she sees the company, forming, growing, expanding, and there's different outlets of talk on these platforms: YouTube, Facebook, MySpace, and such, and trying to conceal that from everyone on the internet, from other people, whether it's a general audience or not. You're just playing a disservice to you're ruining the purpose of YouTube as a whole. The purpose of YouTube is supposed to be user-based content, not platform, not the publishing-based content like that at Time Magazine or CNN or NBC or any of those places. That's what it's for the publisher to decide what's good to show to people or not. But if it's based on user base, you're just ruining your own website. And sooner or later, I don't know how long will this be though, you're gonna shut down your site eventually after a while. Like, get a Blip TV or MySpace turn into a music group all of a sudden. Like, it was like, what the hell? Because Blip TV was a go-to for showing free speech at one point, but they turned that into like a TV based system as well. And
not so much because I was on Blip.tv. What happened is Blip.tv had they basically said if you didn't have enough subscribers or views a month, you were going to lose your user account, and you were going to lose your user account. So you could only watch videos and you could only comment on videos through your Facebook account.
Okay.
That's what got me kicked off Blip.tv, because I didn't have enough views to stay on after their threshold.
Understood. So
I just said I'm not going to watch Nostalgia Critic videos on Blip.tv and have to comment with my Facebook profile.
I don't know about the Facebook part, but yeah, thanks for letting me know about the matter. But I guess you could say based on my experiences, it's kind of anti-productive based on what we were taught in classes during our time, and whether it's in college, high school, it doesn't matter. Because back when the internet started, back in the 90s, publicly speaking, it was the free internet, the free flow of information to anyone out there willing to search for it, research it easily. But I see that the government, the powers that be altogether, the companies altogether, they try to grasp everything, try to build this Mr. and Mrs. We're going to tell you what to do. Like, it doesn't work like that. It works both ways. Yes, I understand. They can censor us anytime right now. Hell, they can censor this segment of our YouTube podcasting of ours, and just be like, oh, we don't know what we're not going to give these people no chances of being out there and about, and that's fine to some extent. But eventually, the information will be out there to people just sharing it. You guys, are you going to delete the URL to it at this rate? I mean, you're ruining the aspect of the internet as we know it. As YouTube, at one example, doing that for the last 7 years now. And I was doing YouTube gaming mainly. I wasn't even talking about politics as much for for the last at least 3-4 years now, until recently, until like a year or two ago. So it's kind of like, it's like I don't know what to say. Like, my history is that bad for this platform, YouTube, to broadcast my views and stuff out there because it's anti-consumerism or anti-business, whatever, knowing that people still will so speak no matter what. And so that's how I feel about YouTube, in some way. At the same time, it's useful at the same time because I'm actually moving my own goalposts too. Like, they move their goalposts. I mean, what else are they going to shut down the website on my URL? I mean, that's good. That's going to be very devastating as a company. As YouTube, it has a starting point right there. So that's all I got to say for the matter. In my perspective, with Susan as CEO. If it was someone else, it might be a little different. But other than that, it's just that, she was not advertising friendly with regular users like ourselves, especially with Copilot.
She was not content creator friendly.
Yes, you're right. Not content creator friendly, especially the ones that are not making not billions, but millions of subscribers, or like Mr. Beast or PewDiePie. Now, Mr. Beast at one time, now we're hearing with Mr. Beast that he's involved with some sort of scandal with children or whatever the case may be. That's going to ruin our chances of being well-mentioned YouTubers, or just YouTubers that stay on the platform long enough because of this situation with Mr. Beast and all. And then you got to mention about PewDiePie with the N-word years back and all. It's like, what do you expect? Like, we're pure human beings. It is what it is. Like, I'm sure if I ever become the well-mentioned next Mr. Beast or PewDiePie, or Triple J next Mr. Beast, PewDiePie, whatever, would there be something from our past that's going to be brought up sooner or later about, like, some sort of scandal where we were, like, there's something wrong with us or whatever? Like, it's ridiculous. It's never ending cycle of, like, rise to fame or rise to respect of fame. It sucks. I wish it would be like non-existent or not be able to control it, but at the same time, you can't control everything. Like I'm sure that the stuff I mention in my political content on YouTube, whatever, it's taboo to most people to talk about from the powers that be up above. They don't want that information to get out about what I say back 10, 15 years ago about certain candidates or certain politicians, whatever. It's not my fault that there's free flow information on the internet for anyone to see. So get over it, politicians. Get over it, YouTube. Get over it, MySpace, Facebook, whatever.
MySpace doesn't exist anymore, I don't think.
It's still there. It's still just using music. That's all they do is music. I have an account there. I actually contacted an old friend from high school, but he hasn't responded back to my my information, my message in like 10 years now. I think he abandoned MySpace, but still, it's like, you're not gonna fool everyone all the time, every time, like Abraham Lincoln will say. You're not gonna, it's just not gonna happen. So I think with Susan, I know it's not sounding being overcritical with her, but it's like, this is what happened over the years with her being CEO of YouTube for that long. And based on what my experience that is, and I'm sure Triple J can at least partially attest to what I've been saying for the last 5 minutes now. So that's all I got to say for the matter.
Yeah, I really don't have anything else to add